He told you he wasn't ready. You heard him, but something in you whispered, maybe I can change that. Maybe I'm different. Maybe he just needs someone who understands him. So you stayed. You gave more. You tried harder. You opened yourself up in ways that terrified you, and he gave you just enough to keep you hoping, but never enough to feel safe. You told yourself this time would be different. This one had depth. This one had pain you recognized. This one felt like someone you could reach if you just loved hard enough. But here you are again, pouring into someone who takes and takes, waiting for someone who barely shows up, loving someone who doesn't know how to love you back. And the worst part? This isn't the first time. It's the 5th, the 10th, the pattern you swore you'd never repeat. You've asked yourself 1,000 times, why do I attract men who can't show up? Why do I fall for the ones who pull away? Why does emotional unavailability feel so familiar? Stay with me, because psychology has answers you've never heard, and they might change every relationship you have after this. Subscribe to Voices of the Forgotten, where human behavior is explained, where patterns, emotions, and hidden motives finally come to light. Let's get into it. Before we go deeper, drop your city in the comments. Denver, Hamilton, Edinburgh, wherever you're watching from, and one word for how it feels to love someone who can't love you back. Let me explain what's actually happening here. Because it's not bad luck, and it's not that you're broken. There's a psychological pattern so predictable that researchers have studied it for decades. Attachment theory shows that people with deep emotional capacity often develop what clinicians call an anxious attachment style. You crave closeness. You want depth. You move toward connection. But here's the painful part. You're often magnetically drawn to the opposite, avoidant attachment. The person who pulls away when things get close, who shuts down when emotions get real, who wants intimacy in theory but runs from it in practice. Psychology shows this isn't random attraction. It's a pattern. Anxious and avoidant styles are drawn to each other with almost gravitational force, and understanding why might be the first step to breaking free. Here's what happens in the beginning. You meet someone and sense something beneath the surface, pain they don't talk about, walls they've built, a depth they don't show most people, and because you're someone who feels deeply, you recognize it immediately. You see potential. You see the man he could be if someone just reached him. You see a project, a puzzle, a soul that needs saving. Behavioral science explains this as idealization. You're not falling for who he is. You're falling for who you believe he could become. And that gap between reality and fantasy is where you lose yourself. Then comes the cycle. He pulls you close, then pushes away, gives you a glimpse of connection, then disappears, sends a message that makes your heart race, then goes silent for days. This is called intermittent reinforcement, and neuroscience reveals it's one of the most powerful drivers of human attachment. Unpredictable rewards create stronger bonds than consistent ones. It's the same mechanism behind gambling addiction. You keep pulling the lever, hoping this time you'll win. Now let me tell you where this pattern may have taken root for you, and it might not be where you expect. For many women, this didn't start in childhood. It started in their first adult relationships. Maybe your first real love was someone who couldn't fully show up. And instead of learning that this was dysfunction, you learned that this was love. The longing became familiar. The chase became romantic. The uncertainty became excitement. Clinical patterns reveal that humans often mistake intensity for intimacy. The highs and lows of an unavailable partner create drama, and drama feels like passion, but it's not passion. It's anxiety dressed up as love. You didn't choose emotionally unavailable men because you wanted pain. You chose them because the pattern felt like home. And breaking that pattern means redefining what love is supposed to feel like. Here's what nobody tells emotionally deep women. Your depth is a gift, but it can also become a trap. Because you feel so much, you assume everyone else does too. You project your emotional capacity onto him. You believe that beneath his walls is someone just like you, someone who feels deeply but is scared to show it. But what if he's not hiding depth? What if what you see on the surface is all there is? What if you've been loving a potential that never existed? This is called projection. And psychology shows that people with high empathy often project their own emotional world onto others. You don't see him as he is. You see him as you would be if you were in his position. And that's why the disappointment cuts so deep. Have you experienced this? Loving someone for who you thought they could be, only to realize they never planned to become that person? Tell me in the comments. I understand this more than you know. Let me tell you what this does to your body. Because this pattern doesn't just hurt emotionally, it drains you physically. When you're in an anxious, avoidant relationship, your nervous system stays on high alert. Will he text back? Is he pulling away? Did I say something wrong? Neuroscience shows that this state of chronic uncertainty keeps your cortisol elevated. Your body thinks you're in danger because emotionally you are. The headaches, the insomnia, the constant tension in your chest. That's not just heartbreak. That's your body telling you this relationship is costing you more than you realize. Here's the part that's hardest to admit. When healthy love shows up, you often don't recognize it. He texts back right away. He says what he means. He shows up consistently. And something in you feels uncomfortable. Psychology reveals that women conditioned to anxious, avoidant dynamics often confuse anxiety with attraction. When there's no chase, there's no spark. When there's no uncertainty, there's no intensity. When there's no drama, it doesn't feel like love. So you leave the one who could love you, and you go back to the one who never will. Not because you don't want healthy love, but because healthy love doesn't feel like love yet. So what do you do with this awareness? You start retraining your nervous system. When calm feels boring, you stay anyway. When consistency feels unfamiliar, you lean in anyway. When the spark is quiet instead of chaotic, you give it time. You stop asking, why do I attract unavailable men? And you start asking, why do I keep choosing them? Because the truth is, they didn't trap you. Something in you recognized them and said yes. You redefine what love means. Not longing, but presence. Not potential, but reality. Not intensity, but safety. And the next time someone shows you who they are, you believe them. The first time, not the 50th. So let me take you back to where we started. He told you he wasn't ready. He showed you who he was. And now you finally understand. Your depth is not the problem. Your depth is the gift. But your depth was being wasted on people who couldn't receive it. You're not attracted to unavailable men because you're broken. You're attracted to them because you learned love wrong, and now you're unlearning it. One choice at a time. If this finally explained the pattern, you couldn't break subscribe to Voices of the Forgotten. Like this video if you've ever loved someone more than they were willing to love you. Share it with a woman who keeps choosing the same kind of man and doesn't know why. Comment and tell me, when did you first realize the pattern? I read every single one. And remember this, you don't need to love less. You need to choose better. Your heart was never the problem. You were just giving it to people who didn't have hands to hold it. That ends now. This is Voices of the Forgotten, where human behavior is explained, where patterns, emotions, and hidden motives finally come to light.